first step to awakening Kundalini is to choose a spiritual practice that you resonate with. This can be Kundalini Yoga, meditation, pranayama, KSG, Sacred Yoga and Energy, which is my practice I have on my channel. Also, mindfulness, using your mind as a tool to be able to create. And when you do these type of spiritual practices, you will begin to awaken your chakras, and you may awaken your Kundalini as well. You do need to devote many hours per day to be able to raise your consciousness, raise your higher consciousness. And when you begin to raise your vibration and consciousness, Kundalini may be awakened. What if you do a spiritual practice for 10 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day? Your chances of awakening Kundalini is not as great. To awaken Kundalini, it is truly a blessing. It is higher consciousness. It is letting go of ego patterns, ego thoughts, ego feelings. So this takes a lot of time and a lot of work. And many people may say, oh, I can't meditate for that long. The spiritual practices does include mindfulness. And for mindfulness to actually take place, you need to be doing this all the time. So this is part of a spiritual practice as well. And meditation is so very important to be able to be mindful, because you are awakening your chakras when you are meditating. If you do not meditate, you may not awaken your chakras. Therefore, you may not awaken Kundalini. So I do advise, if you really do want to awaken your Kundalini, to dedicate, to devote your time to spiritual practices that will awaken this. Hearing someone say they meditated for 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours may be overwhelming for many people, because many people have not started their meditation practice and they don't really know how to meditate, where they actually go into the meditative state of mind. And for this to take place, you do need to practice meditation. Many people will say meditation is boring. The only reason it is boring is because you are trying to meditate. You haven't learned to meditate. So many people do believe this to be true. Meditation is beautiful. It is sacred. You are receiving different types of sensations, feelings that you did not actually receive before you began a meditation practice. And how can we fit meditation into our daily life? Say you are working long hours, or you're doing this or doing that, and it's just really hard. Well, sometimes before you go to bed, meditating is a beautiful time to be able to practice this. So say you're going to bed soon, but you just want to relax a little, and you just want to maybe read a book or go online or watch TV. This is an opportunity where you can try your meditation practice to fit it into your schedule. Everybody is different, and you get to choose when you want to meditate. So one person may do it in the morning, another person may do it at night. There's many different ways where you can fit in a meditation practice. Now, are you going to start with 2 hours, 3 hours a day, or an hour a day? Probably not. You're probably going to start with 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And when you begin to feel these sensations, feeling this divine energy, and just being able to know you are meditating, you will want to do it more. I always tell people, how do you know if you are actually meditating, not just relaxing? You know you are meditating when you forget you are meditating. You aren't just relaxing, but you aren't sleeping yet. It is in between that. You will forget you are meditating when you are actually meditating. You need to silence the mind when you are meditating. And when you do this, when you're able to do this successfully, you will begin to go into the state of meditation. One of the challenging things when we begin to meditate is staying in meditation. When you have visuals during meditation and you wake yourself up, or you are just feeling certain sensations, working with more of your senses, we tend to wake up and we are able to stay calm, silencing the mind while these things take place. We will begin to get deeper into meditation. We will begin to be able to astral travel. And that is a totally different discussion, but that is a beautiful time as well. So that is some information about meditation. If you really want to awaken your Kundalini, meditation is important. Kundalini Yoga and Pranayama are very important as well if you want to awaken your Kundalini with some movement, with the breath work. But my suggestions is definitely try some meditation practice for this to occur, for Kundalini to awaken. There are people out there that have not done spiritual practices and they awaken their Kundalini. Often this can be called spontaneous Kundalini, which is not usually fun. Sometimes people, when they have a spontaneous Kundalini, do not realize it's Kundalini and don't even realize what Kundalini is, and you're starting to feel energy surges all throughout your chakras. You're beginning to have more lucid dreams. Many things take place and it can be very, very overwhelming. Kundalini is not a joke. It is the strongest energy. The strongest spiritual practice is when you reach Kundalini awakening, and then Kundalini will purify you so you can reach enlightenment. Enlightenment is all throughout your chakras to your crown and beyond, and this is when bliss takes place. This is when you align with your higher self when this takes place. And purification is not fun. It is not a fun part of Kundalini. When this begins, you may want it to stop right away because it's not fun. But once the purification is completed, you will be glad that Kundalini did not stop purifying you. So this is some information that I wanted to share with everybody about Kundalini, awakening Kundalini, what meditation can be for you, and what type of practices also work with Kundalini energy as well. If you like my video, KSG Sacred Yoga and Energy, please like. If you like my YouTube channel, please subscribe. Namaste.